Hey, good afternoon, love people. Oh, it's so nice to see Truth Tsunami, CB, Shan. Oh, I am so excited to see you guys. Thanks for being here. And I'm only like 3 or 4 minutes late, so I didn't even ever adjust it. I just made it for 1:45, and then I almost got on at 1:45. So, Truth Tsunami. Let's just try to say it. Sagali. I'm not going to try the second part because you know me. Um, Sagali, please email me your address if you can. I have you won something. Now I can't remember what it was. You won something. So I want to send it to you and I just need your address. CB, did you send me your address so that I could send you the pin? And then who won the hat yesterday? There she is. So nice to see you guys. So, oh, you're late, Miss Jazz. Shan, you are always riding me. You are such a hard ass. And how are ya? You know what, Shan? I was in your live last night and I was chatting up a storm and everybody was ignoring me. I'm muted. I'm muted on your live. So I don't know if there's anything you can do about that. And, if not, I'll just live with it. So I texted you to let you know, and I don't know if you texted me back because you guys wait till you hear this. I've been having a rough day. Seriously, but I lost my phone this morning. It's somewhere in my house. It could be anywhere. Probably at the bottom of my purse, but I haven't dumped out my purse yet. Anyway, I had it in my hand this morning and then it disappeared. But it really has been a rough day, not because of that. I don't want to cry. So I'll tell you in a second when I pull myself together. How are you guys doing? Waiting for Noah's Ark freezing balls. Tired but here, LOL. I really need to start getting to sleep before 6 a.m. Oh my goodness, Shan. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good lately. I am usually asleep, I think, by midnight. And I'm going to check while I'm giving my PC a short breather. Oh, you're going to check your mailbox to see if you got the ironing board for Sandra? So you guys can switch it up. Want me to call? Not right now because my husband's asleep and I don't know if it might be near him. So he works graveyards. He works until 7 a.m. Usually goes to sleep by like 9 a.m. and then usually wakes up at 5 p.m. Something like that. That's 8 hours of sleep if he actually is asleep from 9 to 5. Anyway, thank you though. I appreciate it. Maybe as we are wrapping up, but no, because let me just tell you what was going on. Really fucked up. And I'll start with my stuff. Like everything I say is simply my opinion. For the sake of starting a conversation, hoping to open up a discussion and learn something. And all my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. So there was a really bad car accident last night. And somebody that I know was in it. Well, 4 people that I know were in it. An entire family. And one of them didn't make it. So there I said it. It's been fucking rough. Really nice guy. Super, super nice. And then the last time I saw him, of course, I didn't talk to him because I just was, not feeling like I had time, which was so stupid. I really like this guy and I've known him for, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. 8 years, 9 years. Super nice man. And I dropped my daughter off at his house for a eclipse party and didn't take the time to say hello because I'm an idiot. And he was T-boned last night. He has this huge pickup truck, huge. So, yeah, somebody was drunk, of course. The entire family landed in the hospitals. So one of my daughter's really close friends' father. So it's been rough. It happened at about 6, I think, last night, and then I didn't find out about it until we were trying to go to bed at like 10, so it kind of kept us awake until 11 trying to figure out who and what and all that. Um, really unbelievable. So deep breaths and prayers for his wife and kids. Yeah, it sucks. CB, wasn't it your son's friend who did the same? You were right. Someone did put you in the corner, Jess. I fixed it. Oh, cool. Thank you. Did I do something that I needed to be in the corner? Because I'm open to criticism, especially constructive. That's the best kind. That's the only kind I'm really open to, I guess. I mean, I'm open to BS criticism too, because it's always worth a good laugh and that kind of thing. So I'm wearing this weird shirt. It's a Free People sweater, and there, make it more even. It's got just like really weird details, like the shoulders kind of come down. I try to have them come up, but then they move. And Mark says, yeah, just get your double sided tape. But it's got these really wild sleeves with the eyelets. And I remember when I had been wearing it kind of routinely, Ara really liked it. So I didn't get to text Ara and Shan and Nico Mingo to let them know that I'm coming on live since my phone is MIA. Um, yeah. So yeah, thanks for fixing it, Shan, because I do love yakking it up in your chat. I almost went on panel just to let you know, but like I said, we were dealing with this tragedy, so I didn't really feel like it was an appropriate time to be hopping up on a panel to say, hey, can you unmute me if you want? Because again, if you want to keep me muted, I'm cool with that. I've never seen a reason you'd need the corner. Sometimes people do slip a finger or do it falling asleep holding their phone. Yeah, thanks, Shan. Absolutely. I mean, I've almost reported people when I'm trying to highlight their comment. And yeah, I've definitely fallen asleep while typing and such. That's so good, right? Yes, and small town talk, a lot of adults are blaming the surviving driver. Still not doing good. It's disgusting and sad. Wow, I'm so sorry, CB. Um, this person was intoxicated that unalived my friend. And praying that the two children and that the wife are going to recover. I have no idea like what kind of critical, severe, moderate condition that they're in. I haven't heard anything yet today, and I'm just absolutely devastated. And yet I still forgive the idiot that was drunk driving. I do. I mean, if it was my own family, I might not be able to come to that forgiveness so quickly. But we all do stupid things. I mean, it's harder to contend with when it's something that stupid, like substances. But again, like let's just talk about Kylie Rodney and Scammy Smith, because it seems abundantly clear that Kylie did not die in any kind of car accident. And if she did, then fine, we can all handle that and you know, deal with it. It's still unpleasant. She's still not with us anymore. Um, Goodness gracious, it's so annoying not even knowing which side it is. There, okay, just so they're even, Steven. Hey, Sandra, what's happening? So yeah, it's been a rough day, and I've been wanting to come on and talk to you guys. I have some notes and things that I want to share. I was going to kind of keep it light because of the heavy tragedy, and um, yeah. Hey, Fred Field, hola. That's so messed up, CB. And as if he's not already going to deal with survivor's guilt. Right. Like, even the wife and kids of my friend are probably going to be dealing with survivor's guilt. The dad that didn't make it was the one who was driving. And, when I knew that somebody didn't survive, I was hoping it was somebody in the other car. And then when I found out that it was in that car, I was just like, anybody but the kids, you know. And I'm sure the parents would both feel the same way, that they would, nobody wants to outlive their children. So thank goodness the kids are not fatalities, but let's pray that they are recovering in the hospital, that it's not so bleak that uh, they don't recover. Um, so where's the blame on all the legal adults who left Kiely behind? Exactly, Shan. Shenanigans. Your package should arrive Tuesday or Wednesday. What a great nickname, Shenanigans. I love it. That's great. And yeah, Shan, you don't even need to open yours. You can just slap the address for Sandra when you get her package. Just slap it on there, unless you already have it. Or like you said, you might want to like pop a T-shirt in there or something. Going to have to catch up with what I've missed. So yeah, there was a really bad fatal car crash last night, and my daughter's one of her best friends, their entire family was T-boned. The dad was driving giant pickup truck, um, gone, and yeah. So let's change the subject. That's the plan, Shan says. So I've got some funky earrings, you guys, that I want to share with a lucky viewer. So these are pearl, and the top bead is like a very light lavender glass. And then there's a purple pearl and the flat white pearl, and then a small pearl. So I would love to give these to the first person to comment when we wrap up. And I'll try to remind you guys as we're wrapping up. So as you can see, I've been fiddling with my stuff again. My cool shit here in the background. Hopefully everything's lined up, because I'm not gonna try not to get distracted with it. So yeah, yesterday I was talking about the typical gaslighting techniques of confusion, and then the feigning confusion. So um trying to create confusion, and going to the night that Rodni disappeared, like the thing with the boys jumping on the cars, taking their shirts off, baseball bats, or I don't know if it was wiffle ball bats. For some reason, I think that it was. Um, was that a distraction, or was that part of the weird uh, Lord of the Flies behavior that the party was all about? So Scammy was the one that we know for a fact said that it was like Lord of the Flies. So that really implies to me some type of savagery and cannibalism. That's what's in that story, is cannibalism. So we know that that's kind of a topic that's brought up a lot in Truckee, since that's the location of where the Donner Party tragedy happened. So that's always been a theme through this whole thing. Anyway, the confusion, and then you've got the distraction. So some of the confusion is just red herrings, right? Just throwing a curveball in there. Like in the Meredith Kercher case, I would say that the poop in the toilet is just a red herring. And then she like fixates on it, Amanda Knox does. And then she's just telling everybody about that. And, you know, I'm not even exaggerating. If you counted up how many times she mentions the poop and how many times she mentions Meredith, I'm going to guess it's like 20 times that she says something about that poop in the toilet to the one time that she'll bring up Meredith. I know for a fact, because I did count in her, was that the statement that she hand wrote for the police, that she brought up herself over 200 times and brought up Meredith by name 10 times. So that was like a 4-page written statement. And then you've got that 4-page or 5-page email that she sent to the university professor, and she CC'd it to like everybody that she knew. And that was like 2 days after this happened. And yeah, I've been really absorbed into the Meredith Kercher tragedy. It was a long time ago when I first saw the similarities between the two. I'm going to reiterate how much Amanda Knox reminds me of Scammy Smith. And both of them had said things to the effect of, I was the last one to see her. I know everything. I know what was going on. So we know that Scammy said those words almost verbatim, and then Foxy Noxy said those words kind of in different words. But what is so striking to me is that you've got these beautiful young women who have, you would think, everything going for them except for the fact that they've got pure SHIT for personality. And they're so pretty when they smile and bat their eyelashes that they get away with red rum. And I think mostly it's because people can't wrap their minds around females doing these types of crimes. People see females as the weaker sex, as nonviolent. I have a feeling that what happened with Kiely was extremely violent. And it seems like a no brainer that it had something to do with the alleged friendly fight. And did she get a bloody nose? I think Amanda Knox got a bloody nose when they were assaulting Meredith, because Amanda's red stuff was everywhere. And she just had the one scrape on her neck, like an inch long, quarter-inch wide. So that wouldn't produce all of the red stuff that they were able to determine was hers, that was commingled in the sink pipes with Meredith's at their house. It was commingled with Meredith's on the floor. There were shoe prints and handprints of the two of their red stuff commingled. So the only way I would think, well, two ways could be, menstruation, right? But I think that most likely she had a bloody nose because Meredith had a brown belt. So she almost had a black belt in karate. I like to say karate, like SpongeBob. But I would think that Kiely was trained in self-defense too. I mean, we all know that Scammy was covered in bruises from head to toe when she was like writing on herself with the white paint and all that in the early days of the of Kiely gone missing. So hello, Mrs. Amir. Hello, everyone. Please keep my family in your prayers. My 26-year-old baby sister suffered a stroke last night. Wow. Where is she, Mrs. Amir? Is she there in your country? Or, sometimes it's good to have some details when you're praying for somebody just to know a little bit of specifics. I am so sorry. That is wild. Was that just out of the blue? Or if you want to share, and yeah, what's her status? That is really wild at that age. So, so yeah, the parallels between Scammy and Amanda Knox. So Amanda Knox has made millions of dollars off of Meredith's demise, and I would imagine that Scammy would do the same if she had half of a chance. Amanda's been sort of exonerated. I mean, I don't feel like she's been exonerated. I feel like she was sprung. And to me, there's a big difference. But, that's getting technical and looking at, verbiage, legal terminology, because Knox was jailed in Italy and their laws are different. So, like, the big one is no double indemnity. So after they sprung her, they tried her again. They found her guilty 2 times because of the hard evidence. So the hard evidence still exists. This is why there's so many people who don't buy her story. And most people, I think, across our country just bought whatever CNN told them back when this happened in what was it? Like, it was '07 when the crime happened. It was '09, I think, the first time she was convicted. I think it was 2011 when it was overturned. And then I don't know exactly when she was retried, somewhere around 2013. And then, uh, overturned again. So that's the gist of it. And the current lawsuit or charges against her for slandering Patrick Momba, I think is how you say his last name, the man who was the owner of the bar that she was employed at. I think it was a bar and grill. I think they served food too. But when she implicated him, it seems that she did that very intentionally without any basis. And then she never recanted. Still to this day, I don't think she's recanted. I know for a fact she's never said, "I'm sorry." But he was in jail for 2 weeks. He lost his business. He lost his home. His entire family suffered, his wife and children. So I'm glad that they're retrying her, or that they're trying her for the slander. And I just hope that she gets the harshest punishment, because she already served 4 years in their prison system. There's a good possibility that the max sentence, I think, is 3 years. And so they could say that they could count it as time already served. And I think that the trial is planned for the summer, like June or July. So we also have Alec Baldwin's trial coming up, I think, in July. Another narcissist who loves to lie. So let me see if I can find the notes where I wrote this down. One of the things that drives me nuts with Baldwin is the way not only he uses his terminology, but the way everybody uses terminology, with him having been holding the gun that fired and subsequently Helena Hutchins passed away. Did you see how carefully I worded that? Because Alec Baldwin shot Helena point blank, 2 feet away, in the armpit, right through her, out her shoulder, and then that bullet landed in Joel Sousa. But nobody says those words, that Alec shot her. Man, this is driving me nuts. Mark's right. I should have the double-sided tape. So if I quit moving my arms, maybe they'll quit shifting around. Anyway, this is why I usually just wear black, because it's so annoying having chest issues. I apologize. My problems are not so bad, are they? Back on the case. So Alec can't say the words, and it seems like no one can say the words that he shot Helena. That's what happened. She died as a result of him shooting her from a close range. And all of the gun went off when it was in his hand. That crap just drives me nuts. Really distancing himself from the fact that he was holding the gun and he fired the gun. And he's lied and said that he didn't fire the gun, and that he would never fire a gun, and that he would never point a gun at somebody. Well, that's weird, because you pointed it at her and you fired it. So how does that work? I really hope he gets some prison time. I would imagine that a lot of you guys agree. So the first thing that needs to happen with Kiely Rodni's case, and we've gone over this before, in order for anything to happen, I think that the autopsy needs to get, cause of death needs to get changed from drowning to either unknown, or I think it's an accidental drowning. So they need to take the drowning part off of there, because they have no medical evidence to support that. And so they could just leave it as unknown. They don't know that she died in a car accident. I mean, from what they're saying about her remains, she wasn't beat up. But see, I don't buy any of that about the condition of her remains. I mean, not to mention the weights being all off and the size being all off. I think she probably was beat up. And then they could say, oh, well, that happened in the car accident rather than that happened because of the quote unquote friendly fight. So let me shift myself around because my chest is bugging me. It's really bugging me, you guys. I never thought I would be one of those people that wanted to get a reduction surgery, but having a YouTube channel really makes me want to. So let's change the subject. I ordered a book. I'm excited. My mug says everything gets better with a good book. So I ordered one of those Jane Asher books, the woman who was engaged to Paul McCartney when he allegedly got in that car accident in 1966. And then she subsequently got unengaged. She's written a few fiction books. She's written a bunch of cooking books. She's still alive. And I've always wanted to read her books. So I finally ordered one. So that's exciting because I do like to read. And these days, I don't really read books. I just read online. I read articles. So, um, yeah, that email that Amanda Knox wrote that was 3,000 words long. I was watching a True Crime Rocket Science video that he just dropped a few hours ago. And he said that he's a journalist. And as a journalist, he knows that most articles are 1,000 words. And I thought that was fascinating that her email was 3,000 words. So I'm going to analyze that email some more too, because it's just so profoundly insane. So Scammy's pretty profoundly insane. I mean, the flaunting, the loading, the things that she has said and done. Um, I'm convinced that her trying to steal the limelight isn't just because she's an attention whore, but that's because she's trying to control the narrative. She's trying to stay very close to the information sources, anybody who knows anything, so that she can know who to keep an eye on, maybe who to threaten. Did I do my thing? I think I did. My disclaimer that everything I say is simply my opinion. And um, and just so that she would know what the authorities knew, and she would be able to reform her story, kind of tailor her story to what was known. So, we see that a lot with these cases, like with the Watts case, with the Meredith Kercher case, with even the Helena Hutchins case. When these people start out by telling lies, by saying things that are not true and not accurate, over time their story changes to fit more concisely with what they know are the hard facts. So, you can't change your story. The best thing to do if you don't want to say what is true is to say, I don't remember, I don't know, I'm not sure. But you can't state things and then switch them up. That's pretty basic. You have to pick a story and stick to it. So, Scammy kind of changed her story about the call coming in or the call going out, and some other pretty significant details too. And then there's the whole story about the car going into the water. So let's talk about MC Ultra, because she's such a fierce fighter for Scammy. Why would she be such a fierce fighter for Scammy? We have all theorized, and I think with some accuracy, that her motivation is not so much because she loves Scammy, but because Scammy is a friend of her daughter's, and that maybe her daughter is implicated before, during, or after the fact. Maybe her daughter knew that there was going to be a fight And that's been kept under wraps. Maybe her daughter was there. Maybe her daughter helped cover some evidence. My goodness, Coco, you scared me pushing the door open like that. Um, and then there's Mookie. Come here, girls. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Let's see. Everybody wants to see a cute little puppy dog yet. Look at her. She like kisses me right in the mouth. That's like her goal in life. Mookie, Mookie. There, show everyone your pretty heart face. Oh, that's so funny. She totally kissed me right on the lips. Mwah, 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 mwah. You are hilarious. Isn't she like a cartoon? She's 8 years old and she acts like a freaking 8-month-old or 8-week-old. And then there's Coco. Coco's like, what am I? Chopped liver down here? So I'm thinking I should close the door because it's distracting me. Just having all that light coming in from the hallway. And I have not shown off my most beautiful chakra thing. What do you guys think? Oh, Coco, can I get in there? Or should I just sit right here? I guess I'll just sit right here then. I don't know if there's really enough room for me or not. But here we go. So then you guys can see the cool chakra thing that I keep tweaking and making it nicer and nicer. And I don't know if you can see this little tiny Asian wood carving. It's so cool. I would hold it up for you, but I'm afraid to touch anything. I really shouldn't touch anything. I should glue everything down. I've actually glued down a bunch of stuff. Anyway, back to the cases. I am so delighted that there's so many of us that are not giving up on Kiely. Kiely needs justice. Whether her friends and family want that or not, she needs justice. There needs to be justice. You can't just allow people to pass away and then not have the truth be known. That's insane. That's insane for anybody of any age. But children? Holy crap, you guys. Okay, let's see. What does Miss Amir say? She's in another country called LS. That's where I am originally from. We had lost a lot of loved ones in a couple of years, and she doesn't cry or grieve, so could be the cause hospitalized. Wow. I'm listening on DTV while I put little man to bed. Yeah, let's pray for Mrs. Amir's sis. Alec Baldwin was in the Starbucks and he was getting harassed by a protester. She wouldn't stop, so he turned around and punched her. Oh, Sandra, was this just in the last 24 hours? Because I'm not aware of this. Doesn't surprise me. We all remember when he was on an airplane years ago, like 10 years ago, and he wouldn't put his phone away. And so the staff had to get really direct and confrontational with him. And so he yelled and screamed and kicked, and, you know, the way 2-year-olds do when they have temper tantrums. And he had to let everybody know he's playing words with friends. So, you know, he has a brain and he knows words. So he shouldn't have to put his phone away because he's special and he's playing and he's smart and he's an A-lister, right? Wow. Yeah, when did that happen, Sandra? They would need to prove accidental also. I read pictures. I don't like to read. I can't remember what I read and fall asleep every time I read. Yeah, I fall asleep when I review my own videos. I get bored and just it puts me right to sleep. But I still like to review them. I think it's important to try to do some quality control, and especially to catch myself if I slipped up and made a mistake, you know, crossing my wires. That's what I'm really looking for, things like that. Justice for Kiely in 2024. Yeah, we can't wait another almost 20,000 years, Fred. I know that's just a little slip of the thumb. Absolutely. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, I don't like to be pessimistic. If anything, I'm usually overly optimistic, but I'm also superstitious and don't like to jinx things. But I have never really thought that there would be justice for Kiely. I've thought from the outset that there was some corruption going on, and that doesn't usually get outed. That doesn't usually get resolved. Unfortunately, it just gets covered up. So I don't know that there'll be justice for Kiely, but maybe justice in a different sense, like not so much through the court system, but just through the streets of YouTube, that people are continuing to talk about her and pictures of her are seen and her music is heard. I think that's important. I think that's some justice. And I'd like to think that that is extremely stressful for anybody who has anything to hide. And that's why they're trying to bully and get people to shut up. So, it's their own undoing. If they are stressed out and they have something to hide, that's nobody's fault but their own. If they want to blame the victim, that's on them, but I won't be. I'll be fighting for truth in the stories of children like Kiely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kiely was almost 17 years old and just finished high school, ready to start college. I can't imagine what her next recording was going to be. I wonder if she was in the process of any creative works. Maybe not, because she was so focused on her school and finishing up and then switching gears to get started in a different direction. But I would think that she was going to be producing some more music soon. I mean, that girl was so talented and so adept. The louder we are, yeah, CB, absolutely. So I did want to share some lightness with you guys. I put a meme up a few days ago, maybe like a week ago, and I think I told you about it on a video, but let me see if I can try to tell it, because it's really funny. Yeah, I think I did tell it to you guys. It's something to the effect of, the reason that women get paid less than men is because they choose less, uh, they choose careers that pay less and that are less ambitious, less satisfying. Like men typically choose things like doctor, lawyer, engineer, whereas women, with their unambitious careers, choose less fulfilling roles like female doctor, female lawyer, female engineer. So I don't know if I told it that well, but it's funny as F, isn't it? So I put the meme up in my community posts and I just thought I would share it again for some lightness. And you guys, if you hadn't heard it before, you probably all thought, oh my God, I can't believe Justice is saying this before I got to the end, right? I'm assuming recently it was on a Benny Johnson short. I come up yesterday. Is that the meme that you're talking about, Sandra? I don't know who Benny Johnson is, but yeah, it's on the internet. It was my 12-year-old that found it and sent it in a group text to everybody in the family. And when I was reading it, and before I got to the end, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she's falling for this kind of crap. And then I got to the end and I was like, oh man, I raised her right, didn't I? She's his little smarty pants. I love Benny. So was it Benny Johnson? Is that the one who has that joke or meme? Very tired, work trashed the 77-year-old, still looking for rich sugar mama so I can retire. Very cute, Fred Field. And you're 77. My mom was 77 for 3 years in a row. I'll tell you that story. Um, the first time she was 77, we did our math wrong. So when she turned 77 for real, She was sad that she wasn't going to be 77 anymore because she liked the number so much. And then I was like, oh my goodness, Mom, you're not going to believe this. You were not 77 this past year. You're actually turning 77. So you get to be 77 twice in a row. So that was how it happened the first time. And then the third time, when she was actually turning 78, we were just like, you know what? She's on her last legs. Let's just say 77. She's going to be 77 3 years in a row. And then I want to say she passed away when she was 79, but maybe she passed away when she was 78. It was 2 years ago. She was born in 43. Let's see if I can do any math. So she passed away in 2022. So yeah, she had just turned 79, I believe. Yeah. Because her birthday's in January and she passed away in March. So I think that 78, she barely made it past that birthday. Anyway, so I literally think that my mom got to be 77 3 years in a row. So kind of silly. Not sure. I haven't been able to keep up with much YouTube this week. Sandra Langford says yes. Oh, I'll have to check out Benny Johnson. That's awesome. What a clever lad. Benny sounds British. I don't know if that is accurate, but I will check that out. Note to self. So, getting back to the Rust case, I think that in most of the paperwork about the negligent firings of the firearms, most of the paperwork will say at least 2 accidental gun discharges. So, yeah, there were at least 2 prior to Helena's getting shot. There were 3. There were 2 people and 2 weapons, but one of those people had 2 in a row, 15 minutes apart. And that would be the man with the last name that starts with Tex, the guy who was like the stunt double for Baldwin. So his firearm had a negligent discharge inside of a cabin and then on the outside of the cabin. And that was, this entire shoot of the movie was only 21 days long. So it started in early October and it was scheduled to end just a few days after Helena had been killed, I believe. I want to say that happened on like maybe day 18 ish, maybe not quite. And that maybe they were going to be going over the 21-day goal, but they were pretty much on track. Yeah. So right away, the first week was when there was an explosive that accidentally went off. And then there was the prop master that had a negligent discharge and shot herself in the foot, possibly, allegedly. But it says in some of the paperwork that was actually Hannah Gutierrez Reed that had that negligent discharge. So I'm curious, why 2 stories? Like, did people just get information incorrect in one of those stories, or was somebody covering for somebody? Because with any negligent discharge, that should fall on the armorer, obviously, and nobody was held accountable for anything. There was no like panic or fear with all of these explosions happening. So there were those 2 explosions, and then there were the 2 with Alec Baldwin's body double. So there were 4. And then there was the rattlesnake. So 5 potentially life threatening situations, 5 dangerous situations. And then the camera crew walks off the set. Helena's trying to make things work because she was the one in charge of that crew. and then she gets yelled at by one of the producers. And I think that Ryan Smith is the only producer named Ryan who was actually like hands on and there on set. I think that the other producer named Ryan never came to the set. So that man yells at her. I think that yelling incident happened around 9 o'clock at night. And then the next morning, they're scrambling because their camera crew is gone and they're trying to get things going. And they finally, after lunch, are about to start recording. So they missed the entire morning of work. So an entire half day when they're at the end of their schedule and they're trying to stay on schedule. And then after lunch, then this happens. I think it was around 1:47 is technically the time that the gun that Alec Baldwin was holding negligently discharged itself. And yeah, let's just say 1:47 when Alec Baldwin shot Helena when he killed her. It may have been accidental. It may have been due to negligence, but whatever it was, he killed her. His actions killed Helena. So, there was a lot of stress with trying to get the work done and trying to get the work day started at almost 2 o'clock. So, Ryan seemed to be blaming Helena for that situation the night before. So maybe Alec blamed her too. I have really wondered if there's more to the story than meets the eye. And I don't know. It's accusations, it's suspicion. I think it's important to hold the adult accountable that's responsible for it. And I would think that he would want to hold himself accountable, but we'll see. Fred, you won't find sugar mamas these days. So many of them are high fructose mamas and ruin you from the inside. Shan is too hilarious. That is so cute. Benny is a patriot. You might not like some of his views, Jazz, but the man and his crew always come with receipts. Ow. I'm very patriotic, Shan. No, I'm just kidding. I won't be offended. I know you and I see things differently, so we'll just leave it at the door. It was Sarah. She let the hammer go while checking the chamber. She should have never been alone. She should have never been around a gun along with Alec. Yeah. Right. But in some of the documentation, it says that it was Hannah Gutierrez Reed. I think it was in that report that I read to you guys a couple days ago. It said both. So it might have just been a misprint when it said Hannah was the one holding that gun when it went off. See if I sent the link correctly. Oh, thanks, Sandra. I would if I had my phone. I'll find it. So oh, Coco, don't be chewing on your thing. Come here, baby. No, Coco. Here, let me see if I can get her in the screen so you guys can see her pretty face. Come here, girl. Come here. Come over here. There, come over here. No, right here, baby. Right here. There, Coco. There you go. Look at you. Look, you're on TV. You're on TV, little girl. Yeah. You're at the bottom of the chakra globes. You're the best, Coco. And now Mookie and her are so sweet together. They're so cute. So it's nice to have some doggy loving when I'm so sad about my friend. So sad about my friend. And, I'm really sad for my daughter and her friend, the kids. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. We're just at about 50 minutes. And I was really determined to come on today despite dealing with all of that. I'm going to remember to show the earrings again and remind you guys that the first person to comment will win the pearl earrings. I'm glad I took another look at them because I don't think it's a purple. Um, let's see. I don't think there's a purple uh, pearl on there. I think that the one that's lower is slightly purple, but the one on the other earring is pink. So yeah, they're slightly mismatched. Let's see. Anyway, they're kind of odd. I was just playing around one day a few years ago, and I don't wear them very often. I will clean them with rubbing alcohol before I send them to anybody, but they're just very unique. So they're definitely one of a kind. So the first person to comment will get the cool earrings. I think they're cool if I don't mind saying so myself. Um, and yeah, you guys, love and light to everybody. And prayers for everybody that needs them. Yeah, absolutely. Life is just so precious and life is too short, and there's just really no time to hate. There's really no time to waste. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to take care of each other and take the time to say hello to people. I really wish I would have taken the time to say hello to my friend when I dropped my daughter off there at the party a couple weeks ago. Man, am I kicking myself. And I really like him. And I thought, oh, I should go say hi. It's been a while. But I thought, there's a lot of people and I'll get caught up in the crowd and I'll never get out of there. So a lot of parents that were dropping their kids off, because I think it was more like a kids party, but some of the parents were staying too. It was like a bonfire. And, I had stuff I had to get done. So I didn't want to get stuck in being social because I'm a snob. No, sometimes I worry that people might think that I am. Hit your like button if you don't mind. And pray for those who need prayers, for Miss Amir Zaza's sister and for um, the family. I won't say their name just because, um, yeah. Peace out, you guys. Take really good care of yourselves and drink your water, eat your protein, eat your veggies. Oh, Mr. Mark is here. I can't hang up now. Hello, Jazz and Coco. Yeah, it's fine that you're late. You're right on time. Look, Coco, I said her name and then she put her hand up. Can you see her still? Coco, come here. Come here, baby. Come here so everyone can see how pretty you are, my dear. Mookie gets so jealous. Um, Rewatch. Yeah. So it's a sad one, Mark. One of my daughter's best friend's fathers passed away last night in a car accident. So it's been rough. So yeah, lots of love to everyone. To a God-fearing person, you would think that someone was trying to tell them something. Oh, you mean the Rust crew, Sandra? I think that that's what you're saying. And yeah, that's what makes Helena's passing even worse than if it was the first negligent discharge that happened on set, is that these things were happening a lot, so much so that Lane Looper and his crew quit. They walked off. And then the first thing that happens after they walk off is somebody gets deceased. So, yeah, it's not like they weren't smart to walk off. It's just mind blowing. It really blows my mind. Yeah, it is really awful, Mark. He was in a super big pickup truck, like the biggest you could get, like not like a monster truck, but it was a work truck, and it was large, king cab, up high. So the whole family was in there, and he was T-boned right into the driver's seat. So yeah, prayers for sure. 350. What? Oh, I don't know what that is. 350. Mark, what you talking about? If you want to say real quick before we wrap. And yeah, just a reminder again, the first person to comment in the comment section after I shut it off, which I am about to, will win the earrings. The big truck. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I don't know. Probably if you know your trucks. Um, I don't know if it was a Chevy or a Ford or GMC. Yeah. Yes. So prayers for Mrs. Amir's sister, who's 26 years old, a Ford 350. Yeah, probably mega pints. I will check. I'll follow up with you guys. So be well, take good care of yourself, get fresh air, sunshine, relax. I did have a really good yoga class yesterday at noon. It was phenomenal. Um, and just sending you light and love, you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my channel and my endeavor here. See you soon. Take care.